Alright guys, this is bulk day 29. Woke up at 189 and still consistent at that weight. I'm liking to see that because I have not seen under 189 now in maybe like 5 days. So that is a very good sign. Consistent, steady weight gain, which is what I was aiming for. So far it is going as predicted. And eating at 3,600 calories, it's still very easy for me. I'm still at the point where I can eat as much as I want. People are different. Some people have problems eating to gain weight. Some people are relatively skinny. And then there's the opposite, exact opposite. There's some people that put on body fat like this and they can eat as much as they want and their appetite is like sky high. Yeah, but I fall into the category of one of those people where I can eat as much as I want. And yeah, because 3,600 calories is not an issue at all. I'm not saying that I'm still hungry after the 3,600 calories, but I know I can definitely eat more. But I will get to the point where I have to start stuffing food down in this bulk because eventually my body is going to get so full and I'm gonna have more trouble as the bulk goes on to continue the surplus. So that's where the cut will come in afterwards. But that will happen in the future. So we're just going to keep going on this track and see how it goes. So do you know what I was thinking about this morning before I went to do my cardio? I thought about what working out has done for me. First, I just want to say you can apply this to anything in your life. It doesn't have to be working out, lifting weights, bodybuilding, exercising. But what it should be is some form of discipline in your life that is good for you and that can move you and that can motivate you to keep wanting to go on. And luckily in this process, I found my passion. I fell in love with bodybuilding and I fell in love with diet and nutrition. And also there's other aspects that go into it. Like now, since I've been doing this for a little while, I know my body more than I ever have in my life because I know what foods will keep me full. I know what foods are light and what will make me feel good. If I want to be a certain weight the next day in the morning, I know not to eat carbs. I know when to implement carbs in my diet during the day. And I just know exactly how my body operates. And that has a lot to do with diet and nutrition too. Because at this point in my lifting career, I don't look at food as pleasure as much anymore. Don't get me wrong, I still like food and I still love food and I love to eat. But at this point in my life, I look at food as pleasure and I look at it as energy and numbers. I know what to eat, when to eat. For example, on my leg days, I know that I have to have more carbs in me than any other day of my split because legs require the most effort and legs require the most stamina and fatigue because, like I always say, the quads are the biggest muscle and then hamstrings also, I would say the second biggest muscle on the body. So that's where the viewpoint of the energy and the numbers of the calories and the carbs come in. And let's look at working out. I know that when I'm working out, whatever muscle I'm working out, I know exactly how to move my body, how to move my arms in what direction, or my legs. I know how to move it to make it feel in that muscle. And that's where the mind-muscle connection comes in. But all of it summed up, what working out and what bodybuilding and nutrition and diet and consistency has done for me is it helped me know my body more than I ever have in my life. And I make sure I get my sleep down. I know that if I get under 7 hours of sleep, I won't feel as good than if I get 8 or even 9. And then I also know if I get over 9 hours of sleep, I will feel lethargic the following day. So that's where all of this comes in, and it has really structured my life. But when I first started working out, the initial thought was I want to get in good shape. I just want to look good on the beach, different things like that. And don't get me wrong, I still do now. But then as time went on in my early days of working out, I started to enjoy the process. I started to understand everything that goes into it. Bodybuilding is not easy. It's consistency, discipline, structure. You have to have a routine. You have to know what days to rest. You have to know how often to hit muscles. And I just fell in love with the whole process. So I'm lucky that I found what I love to do already. And the same could go for you guys. It doesn't have to be working out, like I said. It could be anything. But I just think that what it should be is something that structures your life, something that requires discipline, something that requires consistency and practice so you get better at it as time goes on. But the most important thing is that you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy the process. You guys will be able to tell what that is as you're going through it. So don't be afraid to try new things and put yourself out there. I know that when I first started to work out in the gym around people, I was very shy and nervous because it was something that I was new at and I've never done it before. But eventually I just kept going. I stayed consistent and I just stuck to it. And then it became a part of my life. But a little bit heart to heart there. Now let's get into the arm day. So what I did yesterday was arm day superset, triceps to biceps, and I felt really good yesterday. I had a good amount of carbs, but for when I'm working out arms, I know that I don't realistically need that many carbs in me. I want to have a good amount so I get a better pump, but I don't need anything close to the amount where I would if I was doing legs, because biceps and triceps are much smaller muscles than hamstrings and quads. So I still had a good amount of carbs in me and the workout was good. What I started with was tricep pushdowns. At this cable machine, I was doing the whole stack. It was a little bit too light for me, so I was just trying to make sure I was getting good squeezing at the bottom, nice, slow, controlled reps, and that's what I was doing. I slowly warmed up into it like I always do. And once I was ready, I just started my first set with the whole stack. Like I said, it was very light for me. I was thinking about going on something else, but I said, let me change it up here because normally I like to do my heaviest movements first. But this time I did it wasn't very light, but it was just not as heavy as I would have liked it to be. So I did those to failure. And then I went on to my bicep curls. Bicep dumbbell curls. I went very heavy again. I went to the 60s. I felt really good. I was only able to get, I think, 9 reps for the first set, so I was really progressive overloading the muscle, but that was to my absolute failure. When I talk about going to failure, I mean literally I do the movement until I cannot anymore, until I can't move. For certain other muscles, it's tricky, like lateral raises and leg extension, stuff like that. It can be tricky because the burn is so painful where you just have to stop, but you could still go a little bit, so that's why it's not failure per se. I did this superset back and forth for 3 sets, and then eventually I started dropping the weight of the dumbbell. On my third set with the 60s, I was only getting about 5 or 6 reps, and then I would just drop set it, and I would pick up the 55s and finish it there. I want to go back about what I was saying. I actually did 4 sets of these because I remember on my last set, I was doing it with the 55s. The 60s were too much at that point. So I finished my last set. After doing my tricep pushdowns, I kept that weight the same the whole time because, like I said, it wasn't too heavy for me. So then I finished the bicep curls with my 55s, and I got about 10 or 12 reps, good rep range. Once those were done, I went on to skull crushers. Now, I was doing skull crushers with dumbbells. I change it up sometimes. Sometimes I'll do it with a barbell, or sometimes I'll do it with a dumbbell, or even on the cable if I find a good handle to use that I'm comfortable with. But I didn't go crazy heavy with these skull crushers. With the dumbbells, it's kind of tricky to go heavy for me, so I was just going on a comfortable weight where the first set I actually only got 8, so then I had to drop it. I went a little bit lower, and I finished it off there for the first set. And then I would go superset it with this standing preacher curl. These, I never really do standing preacher curls, but I really like it because I like any bicep movement where you're isolating your arms. So with preacher curls, you're supposed to leave your arms hanging on top of that mat, and then you just curl up, but you have no option to swing or to sway back and forth because your arms are stuck in a place. You go up to down. And I just want to say with preacher curls, I do not go all the way down because God forbid I hyperextend my arm. I never want that to happen. So I don't go all the way down. I go about, so say if this is the preacher curl, I'll go about right here. Don't let my elbows lock ever. And I just go straight up, back, stop there, straight up. And it is good too because it's constant tension on the bicep. So I stayed at these preacher curls, I think, for about 4 more sets. And I also stayed at the skull crushers for 4 sets in total. And I did have to go down in weight with the skull crushers. I'll show you guys in the clips. But after my 4th set of the bicep curls on the preacher, I would drop set it or superset it, whatever you want to call it, with the same weight. I would get up, go grab the bar from the other side, and just curl it standing up. Just for like a nice superset or drop set. I wouldn't call it a drop set because I didn't drop the weight, so I'll call it a superset. And that felt really good. I really fatigued my biceps. You know when I know I really hit my biceps good? After the workout, when the workout's completely done and I'm taking a shower and then I go to wash my back and I get a cramp in my bicep. That's how I know that I really hit my biceps good. And also I have seen, I think, Greg Doucette talk about that, but that is definitely a true sign for me, because every time I have a really good bicep workout, I get a cramp in my bicep when I go to flex my arm in like a flexing position. Even if I'm not flexing, but I'm going like this, I still feel that cramp. So that's how I always know when I get a good bicep workout. So then after those, I went on to single arm push downs. You guys have seen me do this before, my 5x5s back and forth style. And then I would go to failure once I went my 5x5s about 2 times with each arm back and forth. And I actually just finished the superset with the standing curls with that preacher bar like I was doing before, because those were feeling really good on my biceps. I don't love curling with the preacher bar because it does hit the brachialis too. I like to work out the brachialis separately, like when I include hammer curls and stuff, but I haven't done those standing preacher curls in a while, and they were feeling really good on my biceps, so I did end up just staying there. I just finished my bicep workout just with those standing curls. I did end up going a little bit heavier because it was a little too light, and then I would just drop set the weight, and then I would just finish it off there. And I think for my 4th set in with these single arm pushdowns, I was doing superset with tricep ropes. I like to do that because it really gets my triceps fully fatigued and burned. But once I felt that I had enough pushdowns, I just went on and I finished off with the ropes. Just that nice squeeze, not heavy at all, lightweight, because this was the end of the workout. At the end of the workout, that's when your strength should be down. And then I would just superset it with those standing preacher curls, and in total, I ended up doing 13 sets of biceps and triceps. Felt very good. I had a great arm day. I went on in the posing room to show you guys my pump. I'm just trying to figure out where to place my camera and my phone, if I can place it in a better spot to really see my pump good. I'm still trying to get it down, but I will as I keep going and as the time goes. I feel that my arms were looking good. I showed you guys a few different poses, and I was definitely fully pumped. I could not touch my fingers could not touch the top of my shoulder after the workout, so that is also a good indicator of a good pump. Yesterday, unfortunately, I was not able to do my forearms or my calves. I had somewhere to go, and I had to get out of the gym fast. That's especially why I incorporate these tricep and bicep supersets when I can, because it's very time efficient. But besides that, it was a great workout, good pump, good fatigue, and next workout will be full leg day. I will catch you guys in the next video.